NBA action on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams. Should be a terrific game here tonight. We're at Chesapeake Energy Arena in downtown OKC. Tonight, it's the Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the Houston Rockets. The opening tip won by the Houston Rockets. Short jumper won't fall. Runner here won't go down to Paul. And count the basket. Russell Westbrook with the rock. And the Rockets clear the board. To Harden. And he hits. The challenge defending a guy who can be a 1 or a 2.
We're not old men talking about this game. We don't define players by positions anymore. Is he a 1 or is he a 2? No, he's James Harden. He is a scorer and an elite passer.
Goes to the left side. Not that. And a putback slam.
Woo, that's nasty right there.
Westbrook with it. Now down 6. Jeremy Grant sends it away. Turnover gives them the possession. Anthony. Jay, another one goes down. They're right where they want to be.
Exactly. Next play, you have to turn around defensively and get in the stance and actually keep that same kind of tempo.
Now a whistle. And we're going to get a timeout from OKC as they'll talk things over here in the first quarter. Westbrook to George. And counted at the rim.
And that is the sign of an unselfish team. When everybody in transition thinks they have a chance to get the ball because you have a willing passer, somebody willing to make other players on his team look great, that's only going to force your players to play that much harder on offense and give you more energy on the defensive end.
Harden, his first effort, off the mark. Westbrook into the front court, trailing by 11. From the painted area, won't go down. To P.J. Tucker, has a chance, and he knocks it down. Jay, nice look right there.
As a player, there's nothing better than coming out in the first quarter and playing exactly the same way you played the last couple of days of practice. You're moving the ball, you're capitalizing on mistakes, and you really built a nice lead.
Russell Westbrook matched up with Paul. Driving right to the basket. Short jumper won't go down.
I just love where this takes you into the psychological battle as a player offensively. Was that a great contest, or did you just miss the shot? But now you have me thinking about that the entire next possession.
George, much needed bucket right there with the 3. This game, long way to go. They're back within 10.
This isn't going to be a rollover game. That's the kind of facial expressions you need from somebody who's ready to fight.
Paul against the former MVP. Trying to cash in. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a 3-point play.
The defender was actually in a good position there. They even made a decent play on the ball. But sometimes those bounces go the other way. Still, stay aggressive out there.
Chris Paul trying to cash in on the 3-point play. A career 86% from the line. Paul's free throw, good. A three-point play as the Rockets add to their lead. Oklahoma City ball. George sizing up Eric Gordon. To Westbrook. Has a look. Wide open look, won't go.
And as a shooter, this is when you start to second guess your shot. You've had 3 wide open shots that you just can't put through the net, but still keep hunting your shot.
To Paul George. Beyond the arc for 3. Nene with the rebound. Paul with it up top. Exactly a minute to go here in the opening quarter. Gets it in the left corner. 4-3. That's off the side of the rim, no good. Westbrook across the timeline. His guys currently down by 13. Russell Westbrook rocking the rim.
You see, you can't actually get mesmerized by the ball. You actually have to focus on the dribbler's belly button. I know that may sound cheesy, but trust me, he can't go anywhere without his core.
And he's fouled. Earns a trip to the foul line, Jay.
Look, it's still early. Make your opponent work for those possessions. You don't want to start racking up too many personal fouls.
Chris Paul at the line for 2 shots. Hasn't missed yet. Knocks down the first.
For the Oklahoma City Thunder, number 17, Dennis Schroeder.
Goes 2 for 2 at the line. OKC ball. Schroeder guarded by CP3. Now a steal as the Rockets have it. Paul. And Patterson grabs the rebound. Jeremy Grant defended by Knight. Deep 3 at the buzzer. The first quarter's complete. It's been all Rockets. Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as we get things started here in the second quarter. Thunder with the basketball. Schroeder. Fires the 3, buries it on the catch and shoot.
Ooh, that confidence level is so superior. Whenever you start jacking back on defense before the ball even goes through the net, that speaks for itself.
Paul against Schroeder. To P.J. Tucker for 3. Always has a chance for Tucker, but not that time. Missed it. They weren't going to give that to him.
And this happens all the time in this league. Sometimes offensively, you're tired. It's one of those type of nights. You combine that with the fact that the defense is hungry and active and contesting everything, that's why shots aren't dropping.
Here's Schroeder with it. His guys trail by 13. Screen coming. Robertson guarded by Michael Carter-Williams. Missed it. How'd that not go down? Carter-Williams fires the 3. Message received. Well defended. Across midcourt, it's Schroeder. Looking to make something happen. And look out. Big finish at the rim.
And when you get your prescription, you take your medicine and you call it a day.
Nothing going here on that drive. That's toughness right there. Physical inside, gets it to go.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
The Thunder have the possession. Schroeder has a chance, gets a look, can't hit.
And you hate to say this, but this is the reality of the matter. Sometimes it takes guys a little while to warm up into the game. Seems like they finally found their rhythm in the second quarter.
Schroeder with the basketball, trailing by 15. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. That's off the side of the rim, short. Carter Williams with it up top. He'll run the offense. Trying to cash in. Not that time. On the follow. Way to stay with it. The Thunder will use a timeout as they'll talk things over here in the second quarter. Changes coming from both sides right now. Russell Westbrook against Ennis. Nene! Huge block!
Oh, he blocked that with authority.
Marquise Chris. Nice finish at the rim.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. The ball isn't sticking to one player individually. It's moving around the perimeter, and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
Here comes the screen. Schroeder to Westbrook. Nene! Snatching it out of the air. That one out of bounds off a rocket. Adams to Westbrook. And he's fouled. A trip to the line coming up.
Smart play to rip through the extended arm of the defender. That will get you to the free throw line every time.
Russell Westbrook. Couple of free throws on the way. A career 81% free throw shooter. He connects on the first free throw. And he makes them both. Carter Williams to Gerald Green. Almost. Tough shot in traffic. Thunder with the basketball. Knocked loose. Rockets have it.
That's called game plan execution to perfection. Every possession on the road is critical.
Going to launch beyond the arc. Tough shot for Gerald Green. Off the mark.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
From long range. To Gerald Green. Here's a chance from long range. That's good D. Shot no good.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
Right time. Right player.
Can't teach height.
Lets it fly from long range. He's been waiting a long time for that one to go down.
Great shot by the offense. But the defense, you can't afford to collapse off that penetration. I'd rather a team take a tough 2 than a wide open 3.
Beyond the arc for 3. Good contest. No good for Carter Williams. Here's Schroeder with it. 14-point deficit. Westbrook to Adams. From the outside, no good.
You know, Ed, everybody gives so much credit to the guy who contested the shot, but there's no way he's in that position without the communication of the backbone of the defense. When you have a guy back there who can block shots and tells you to apply more pressure, you know you're in a safe place.
Russ at the controls. Right through the heart of the defense. The layup is good.
Just a ball-handling wizard, still putting people under his spell.
Michael Carter-Williams, picked up by Schroeder. And he's fouled. Very close, Jay. The result, he's going to the line. Michael Carter-Williams. He's got 2 shots coming. A career 70% free throw shooter. And hits the first free throw.
For the Oklahoma City Thunder, number 13, Paul George.
Can't connect on the second, and he splits the pair. Just inside the arc, at the buzzer. A very one-sided first half of basketball as we are at halftime. Let's get you to our NBA Live studios in Orlando and hand it over to Jalen Rose for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Jalen.
It's Jalen Rose, and I've got your EA Sports Halftime Report. The Rockets absolutely dominated the competition in the first half. It was their playmaking, the way they gave each other scoring opportunities. That really impresses me. I love seeing unselfish basketball like that. These are the guys getting buckets for the Houston Rockets. The Thunder may be in the building, but they did not show up for this game. The way they struggle doesn't bode well for them at all. But if they got some fight in them, we'll know right away in the third quarter. These are the guys getting buckets for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Game track. Field goals.
As you can see in the highlights, this team did a terrible job of adjusting to the flow of the game. They're also lacking effort in their execution.
Player of the half. Who was cold?
Forget cold. This guy will be happy to be lukewarm at this point. He can't seem to get anything going. Here we go with the top plays from the first half.
Number 2. Number 1.
Fellas, back to you.
First half, very one-sided. What will the second half bring? We'll find out as we're underway. Here's Westbrook controlling the offense. Deep 2 there, won't go.
It's easy. Force guys into low percentage shots. That's the reason why we're big into stats. It was all provided to you before the game in the scouting report.
George. The rebound comes down to Paul. Anthony. Tough shot. Well defended.
Shooters shoot. Period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
To Westbrook. Screen coming. Russell Westbrook. matched up with Carmelo Anthony. Rises for the slam. Jay, let's see if that's a sign for him.
Well, he's been pretty much non-existent the first 3 quarters, but when you have a play like that, that can get the juices going, and that can help you with your offensive rhythm.
It's Russ at the controls. Oh, Russell Westbrook not looking pretty. 3 for 10.
Why not? Russell Westbrook is the only guy stopping Russell Westbrook. And when he decides to put his head down and go to the rim, he's going to the rim. It's that easy.
Harden matched up with Ferguson. 4-3. No good. That's great defense. Cleans it up. Offensive board. Nice touch around the basket with the tip.
In the paint, you need to finish just like that.
Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
He should get some kind of acting award. That's a great sell by the offensive player. But guess what? The ref spit, and that's the game.
Clint Capella at the line for a chance at a 3-point play. A career 48% free throw shooter. Free throws good as they continue to widen their lead. Russ at the controls. George guarded by Carmelo Anthony. Fires the 3, and Paul George good on the quick release there.
But it was how he created the shot. As a defender, there's a tendency to stand up when you stare at the ball. Offensive player recognized that, continuously moved without the ball. Bang, that's how he set it up.
Westbrook into the front court. Trailing by 14. A pass taken away by the Rockets.
You know, Ed, sometimes you're just more ready to play than your opponent. The intensity and the effort is off the charts.
Spinning shot won't fall.
Yo, big kudos to the defender. It seems like his mere presence in the paint was enough to make the offensive player miss the shot before he even got off the ground.
Westbrook with the basketball. Down a bundle. Screen coming. George, he was all over him.
And big-time coaching strategy by the staff right there, utilizing their bench, keeping fresh legs on that shooter consistently throughout the course of the game.
It's George for 2. The rebound belongs to Houston. Tucker, tough matchup against George. Cleaning the offensive glass. Ooh, Chris Paul. 3 for 6 now. When you look at playmakers in the last decade plus, what sets Chris Paul apart?
He always puts you in a position to succeed. He leads because he's vocal, and when he directs and he guides, there is nobody better at the position than CP3.
To Capella. Scores from the post.
Old school equals high percentage.
Now a whistle. And we're going to get a timeout from OKC as their coach wants to get a word in with his guys here in this 3rd quarter. Both coaches hitting the reset button. Fresh legs coming onto the floor. Russell Westbrook defended by Knight. Rockets in control of the basketball. To P.J. Tucker for 3. Always has a chance for Tucker, but not that time. Westbrook's shot won't go on the drive. He engulfed him that time. Across midcourt, it's Schroeder. His guys down big. Strong finish for Paul George.
And last year, it seemed like PG really had a difficult time finding that next level elite PG. No doubt about it, this year, he needs to be playoff P all day, every day.
Paul. Fires the three. Misfires. It's no good. Westbrook with it. Looking to make something happen. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
The assist from number 10, Eric Gordon.
17-footer at the buzzer. That's the end of the quarter. The Rockets way out in front. It'll be Rockets basketball here as we start the fourth quarter, and they have done no wrong to this point. They have this game well in control.
They took control early, and they never let up. The scary thing about this team, if they keep their foot on the gas and then throttle down, they can win this game by 50.
Oklahoma City's got it. And the rebound comes down to the Rockets. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Can't go down. Smothering defense. Schroeder takes on Eric Gordon.
Big pick right there.
And Jay, they call the foul.
That's just a blatant foul. Maybe he's trying to make a statement.
Wide open look, won't go.
Just seems like there's lead in the feet of the defenders. You have to bounce quicker to the ball to deter that shot.
Great defense, forcing the miss. George against Chris Paul. From the painted area, won't go down. To Harden. Nice pass to get things going.
You know, it reminds me out of a story a legendary coach once told me. He said, if you ever get in a fight, you're not going to hit somebody with an open hand, correct? You'll probably break a finger. But if you hit somebody with a fist, what is that? That's 5 fingers working collectively together as one. That's how you deliver a knockout punch, and that's what we're seeing tonight.
Looks like both teams are making substitutions. Russell Westbrook steps into it. Shot won't go.
You see, Ed, this is where coaches get fired. It's great to have good offensive sets, but if you can't execute, then the play was a failure.
He gets it.
It just seems like one of 3 things happen every time James Harden has the ball. Either he scores, he gets fouled, or he kicks it out to someone for a 3. Pick your poison.
Clint Capella rejects it. Ferguson. It's Westbrook. And the rebound pulled in by Capella.
And you knew this game had a chance to get out of hand pretty quickly because of the communication. When these guys stepped on the court, Ed, they were yapping back and forth to each other. And that kind of communication, that kind of collective responsibility to one another, you feel that on the court. That's why this team is special.
Oklahoma City ball. He was smothered and still gets it to go down.
Look, there was barely any contact on that last play. I agree with the ref's no call. Let him play.
Buries it on the catch and shoot.
It's all about creating space with the dribble. Once you have that gap, you can beat somebody in a variety of ways. He chose the dagger with the 3.
To Westbrook. Doesn't get the bounce. Harden in possession. His guys hold a commanding lead. Going to launch beyond the arc. shakes free and hits.
It's easy to get lost in the chaos of the game down the stretch, but great awareness by the shooter to get those toes right behind the three-point line.
The Thunder will use a timeout as they'll make sure they're all on the same page here in the fourth quarter. Mixing things up. Hockey line substitutions. Both teams making changes. Converts in the paint. Nice finish at the rim.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
To Capella. Short jumper. Won't fall.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
To George. Nothing going here on that drive. Lays it up and in.
Here's lesson number one. When you allow a player like that the freedom of space to dance with the ball, there's no telling what kind of breakdance move they might hit you with.
And he knocks it down, Jay.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. To Anthony. From long range. I don't know, Jay. They have a big lead. This game is just about over. He might not make many friends on the other side with that three.
Oh, I don't want to hear that generic coaching speak about dwindle down the shot clock, use the clock is your friend. No, if you have a chance to beat him by 50, beat him by 50. If you want to beat him by 100, keep shooting more threes.
It's in the hands of James Harden. And he knocks it down at the line. Time to adjust. Both coaches making changes on the floor. Harden. He was 0 for 6 to start. Let's see if that three turns things around.
Well, there's this old saying, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. This is why you've been practicing in the offseason so hard. You never let one miss deter you from taking the next.
George picked up by Carmelo Anthony. Knocks it down from mid-range.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
Harden, guarded by Terrence Ferguson. Off the mark.
I'm not sure that the contest on the shot contributed to the miss, but what it might have done is seep into the confidence of the shooter that the next time he might decide to try to drive to the rim instead of settling for a jumper.
And that's going to be off of Anthony, out of bounds. Ferguson. That one out of bounds off a rocket. Ferguson. Yes, Carmelo Anthony. He's now 4 for 6.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
It's the Rockets who are victorious as they win this one in very convincing fashion. That'll wrap things up. For Jay Williams and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
The Rockets were simply amazing in this contest. The scoring display they put on is going to be hard to forget. It's hard to imagine anyone doesn't come away impressed with how effectively they score their points. Check out the leading scores for the Houston Rockets. The Thunder really lost big in this matchup, and you could tell it was tough on them. Losses like this become main discussion topics in the media. So hopefully this team is ready to answer the tough questions. It's not going to be fun. Here are the guys who put up the most points for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Game trap. Steals. Player of the game.
Chris Paul read the defense perfectly, and his teammates reaped the benefits with easy baskets.
Who was cold?
This isn't the segment you want to be in, of course, but even the best players find their way into this part of the show. We got our top 3 plays for you. Check them out.
Number 2. Number 1.
On behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, I'm Jalen Rose. We look forward to seeing you again next time.